welcome back for another book review. Today we're talking about this one. So this is Encountering the Dark Goddess, A Journey into the Shadow Realms by, I don't actually know how to say this name, Francis? Is that how that's supposed to be? Billinghurst? Something like that? So first of all, the cover, gorgeous, isn't it? Just so pretty. So this book goes over 13 different goddesses and also just kind of the general concept of the Dark Goddess. And it's kind of like the sequel that we wanted for Journey to the Dark Goddess, but not by the same author. It's that same kind of vibe, but it expands on the concept. It goes through a lot of different myths, and each myth is explained and then talks about how to work with that particular goddess. And then there's the associations for that goddess, and then either an exercise or a meditation to go with it. So I was genuinely surprised to like this. I gave it a 4 out of 5 star. I thought it was really good. Like, honestly, most of the myths I don't care. Like, they're not ones are ones I'm gonna care about. Like, I don't care about Persephone. I don't care about Inanna. I don't care about Lilith. Like, I don't do a lot with those, but it is interesting to read. And the section on hell was very good. I really liked it. I also don't know why the F had never occurred to me, but this is the first time I think I've ever read it, where it talks about the idea that after Ragnarok, all of the gods just go to Hell's realm. And I'm like, that checks, actually. Like, of course the death deity would remain. And like, she's not exactly involved. She kind of just opens the gate and is like, y'all go wild. I don't even care. Go for it. And then inevitably, I'm sure she just like rounds them up and brings them back, including the other gods, and is like, okay, all right, you had fun now. Okay, you're coming here now, bye. And then it's supposed to lead into the new era where you have Baldur is back, and also apparently his brother is supposed to come back, Hodar or whatever. He's supposed to be there. And then Thor's sons are kind of supposed to take over. So like, it was really interesting. I don't know that I've ever seen that in any of the other books. And I really liked the way the author included just really good information. Like, the one on Medusa was really interesting, and also for Hecate, like, she goes into a lot of detail for these myths in a very well written way. Now granted, I read this after I read the horrible book from Caradwyn Greenleaf that is so bad for the Norse, so it was nice to see a good book representing the Norse. Her book was bad. Patrons, I think it might be out by about now. But yeah, that was rough. So I'm a little more biased for this actually being well written, because it was a good book. It was a really good book in comparison. But also it was like the book I wanted after reading through Journey to the Dark Goddess. I do feel like you almost need to read that as a precursor to this, because a lot of the concepts really just like flow together, where Journey to the Dark Goddess really walks you through like those steps and the rituals of like going into the underworld and all of that. And this one's like, after you know those steps, there's different deities kind of that you can experience with that journey. And it's really good. There's a lot of good information in this book. So obviously I would recommend this book if you want to do any Dark Goddess work. Duh, that one's kind of a given. But also if you're just into goddess work in general, you want to know about any of the 13 that she has in here, it's kind of worth getting it, at least trying to flip through it for those sections. Again, the hell section, very worth it for me. But also if you want to do any underworld kind of journeying and like trying to deal with your shadows and stuff and using that methodology to handle it, this is a fantastic resource for you. So yeah, overall, I really liked this book. I'm glad to finally have a good one. I've had a lot of back and forths of not good and good, and this is one of the good ones, and it's kind of nice. So, and the artwork was really interesting in here, actually, as a final aside, because like truly it's like it's beautiful. Now I do wish they would have actually put these in with the deity they were talking about, but look at the hell one. Isn't this just like the best visual for her ever? I loved this. It's so creepy, but also like it shows, like, if you saw that, that's a deity coming at you, you know? Like, we see these beautiful depictions of, like, Aphrodite, and even most of them, really, Freya. Like, they're always, like, these beautiful creatures, you know? And then you just see her and you're like, oh shit, like, yeah, I know where I stand on the totem pole of life. I'm pretty low, cool. Like, it's the chain of command. I'm way down here, you're way up there. Because she's also the deity that like even Odin's afraid of. And like, to be honest, you see her walking up to you and you know that it's Loki's child and she's completely coherent and is like calm. You're like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna get involved. Why? I don't know. It was a good representation for her. The story, the picture, all of it. And of course it's there for the other deities as well, I'm sure. That's just the one that I was like latched onto. Because the other ones I'm like, oh, cool. And like Morrigan Le Fay, like it doesn't really tie into like the Morrigan, which happens. Some people do, some people don't. But yeah, overall, really a good book. Thank you, of course, to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive content, it's patreon.com/nightwillowcrafts. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I post every single day, and until next time, blessed be.